Morning to our friends from the media. Welcome to the press briefing of our House Prosecution panel. We have here with us uh, our distinguished guest. We have Deputy Speaker Francisco Paulo Ortega V from the First District of La Union. Of course, our prosecutors, uh, Representative Isabel Maria Zamora of San Juan City, and Representative Rods Gutierrez of One Rider Party List. And of course, we also have the spokesperson of our House prosecution team and also a member of the prosecution panel, none other than Attorney Benjamin J. Tolosa Jr. To start our press briefing, let's hear opening statement of Congressman Zamora.
Hi everyone, good morning. And siguro ang una ko pong sasabihin ay maraming salamat po sa lahat ng sumubaybay, lahat po ng nanood at nakinig sa ating first week of the impeachment trial. Nakita niyo po ang dalawang panig, ang mga abogado po representing the prosecution and representing the defense, at nakita niyo po kung paano po tayo gumalaw sa isang impeachment court. Nakita niyo din po ang ating unang witness at ang kanyang testimonya, at nakita ninyo na hindi natinag o nabasag ang testimonya ng ating witness na si John Mark Calilong. Umpisa pa lang po ito, naintindihan po namin na narinig ninyo ang closing statements ng dalawang panig. Kahapon po binigay ng depensa ang kanilang closing statement. Pero sasabihin ko po na hindi pa po tapos ang pagpresenta ng mga witness patungkol sa Article 4 or yung grave threats article. In the coming weeks, meron pa po tayong ibang witnesses. Ang susunod naman po ay na-announce na, at yun din po ay isa pang NBI official. Yun po si Attorney Lotok, which we will present on Monday. So sana po subaybayan po ng ating public ang trial ng ating Vice President, at madami pa po tayong mapupulot na kaalaman dito, at kailangan po natin mailatag ang lahat ng ebidensya patungkol po sa 4 na articles ng impeachment. Thank you very much po.
Okay, so we'll accept your questions now. Tina, you may do the honors.
Good morning po. Attorney Zulaika Lopez went to the Senate this morning. Impeachment Court Clerk of Court Bantug said the visit concerned administrative matters. Any reaction po?
Quite frankly, this is the first time to heard it, no. But so it will be difficult to comment on that. No, we don't know. We're not privy to that meeting. What was discussed. So, but quite frankly, it has no significance to us. So far as we're concerned, we've already asked the impeachment court to issue a subpoena directing Attorney Zulaika Lopez to appear before the court as one of our witnesses, and our purpose for presenting her, as a witness, what we intend to do during her presentation as witness, would not be affected by that occurrence this morning.
What about the others on the panel po?
I think, yeah, we have to agree with Attorney Tolosa. Without knowing exactly what the meeting was about, we can't really comment on it. But we trust that the trial will be proceeding and with the prosecution will be unaffected.
Maybe get an update on your request to subpoena Attorney Lopez. Lumabas na po ba?
If I remember correctly, I think an updated request was made because that timing changed a bit, no? We'll have to get back to you on that. But what is clear is, I think during the hearing yesterday, we informed the court that we intend to present as our next witnesses the attorney Lotok, the regional NBI director, no, and Officer Pelio, no, from the Office of the Sergeant at Arms of the House of Representatives. The third one, I'll have to confirm if it's either Attorney Zulaika or NBI Director Matibag.
Sir, any update naman po on the discussions of the House Prosecution Panel on the voting threshold?
Okay. For now, as we've stated in our statements about it yesterday, that's not one of the priorities, no, of the prosecution panel. Our singular focus remains the same, which is to keep preparing, no, for the presentation of our succeeding witnesses, and that matter is still under deliberation. So, but for now, we're not focusing on that.
Tama po ang sinabi ni Attorney Tolosa, no? The prosecution is not concerned about the voting threshold dahil ang business namin po ngayon ay ipresenta ang ebidensya na hawak po namin in relation to the 4 articles of impeachment. Of course, we will abide by the rulings of the impeachment court and hintayin na lang po namin ang next steps or ang mga susunod na mangyayari in relation to the voting threshold if ever any person will question it as earlier mentioned by the presiding officer. If everyone will recall, he declared that the voting threshold is 16, which is 2/3 of the total number. But he also mentioned, I believe, that anyone is free to raise the matter before the Supreme Court. Yun lang po.
In addition to that, I guess what we can say is whether or not we're affected, the rules are now set, and it's time for the evidence and the records to move. No, it's time for the presentation for us to proceed.
Thank you po.
Right, we now recognize Bernard Taginod.
Sana hindi to ma-objectan, no? Yung Oplan Romanov, tingin nyo katang isip lang nung kabila yun?
Itong Oplan Romanov, sa paglilitis na to, narinig lang ho natin to dun sa isang naging statement, no, ng Defense Counsel. So maliwanag, wala hong kahit na anong ebidensya na nalalapag dito sa paglilitis na to na mapatunayan to in any way, So it just remains an allegation, no? And at the end of the day, it seems that by raising this matter, it seems that they're making the point that they're trying to justify the threats by raising this, no? Pero ang katanungan ho dyan na dapat din pag-isipan ng ating mga kababayan, tama ba na kung merong pakiramdam na dahil dito sa mga ganitong klaseng allegations ay pwede nang pagbantaan ang buhay ng ibang tao, pwede nang pagbantaan ang buhay ng presidente. So yan ho yung mga katanungan na dapat harapin at sagutin dito ho sa paglilitis na to.
Mangilite, anong tingin mo dyan?
Well, siguro unang-una bago sa lahat, no, nakita po natin na ang daming spin ng kwento. Iba-iba yung anggulong kinukuha. Pero siguro magandang i-highlight po yung mga prosecutors natin na lumabas po yung preparasyon nila. Hindi naman po nasagot yung sa threat eh. Exactly. Kung ano-ano nga po yung ginamit na anggulo para sa akin ng depensa. And I want to give flowers where it's due. Hindi porke congressman ako, hindi porke nandun ako. Yung preparation po hindi po hindi nabasag yung mga nilatag ng prosecution. And I think also bibigyan ko ng grado tong mga prosecutors natin na may mga iba na nandito. Talagang A positive sila. Para blood pa rin.
Mayroon talagang inaano nila yon. Nire-raise nila yung
Lagi nilang
Romanov.
sinasabi eh. Actually, sa kampo nila, hindi lang doon sa Zoom na yon. Maraming beses, hindi ko lang talaga maalala kung saan ko ulit narinig yon. Pero parang marami silang yung mga pananakot, mga threats na ganun. Kaya nga sabi ko, hindi biro yang ganyan. It's a grave crime. Kahit anong threat pa yan, yung conditional threat naman kasi palusot lang yan ng mga nag-grave threats eh. So palusot lang 'yon. So talagang yung mga ganyang bagay hindi pwedeng hindi maliit na bagay, yung hindi mo na lang papansinin, hindi mo hahayaan. That's a threat to the highest official of the land. And first time po na nangyari na yung pangalawang pinakamataas na opisyal titrinethreaten yung Pangulo. First time po na trineten ng Vice President ang buhay ng pamilya ng Pangulo at ng dating Speaker. So, sabi ko nga, hindi ko mawari, hindi ko maisip. Sabi nga sa amin sa Ilocano, maululaw yung nahihilo na ako. Hindi ko alam kung paano nila hahanapan ng paliwanag o explanation to talagang sot palu eh. So, yun lang po on my part. Salamat.
Kong Bell,
Yung
yung
sa
Romanov.
Romanov. Okay, alam nyo, litong-lito nga kami noon dyan sa Romanov na yan eh. In fact, during the Committee on Justice hearing, I had to explain what the Romanovs are. And kasi madaming hindi nakakaintindi niyan. Ano ba yung Romanov na yan? Sabi ko, yan yung imperial family of Russia that was overthrown and massacred by Lenin, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, without going to the merits, in fact, hindi nga dapat kasama to. Siguro, tingnan na lang natin ang pagkakakilanlan natin sa ating president sa kanilang pamilya. I don't think that anyone would think that these words relating to assassination, massacre, all of that would come from the first family.
So
Yun lang-
katang-isip nila yan.
Yun lang po ang naisip
So
namin.
katang-isip nila yan.
Katang-isip po ng kabilang
Kapila.
partido.
Yeah. Okay.
Dahil
Hindi sila mag-imagine.
wala naman pong napatunayan na may ganong plot sa kanila.
One more. Isa na lang. Yung isang witness nyo next week, yung Belinda Bello, something? Sama? Siya yung, ano yung ilalatag niya sa impeachment court next week? Yung naging dahilan kung bakit ilipat si Zulaika sa Women's Correctional dahil nandito si Sarah with a lot of bodyguards at nagugulo, kaya ililipat. Yun ang sasabihin niya doon?
Hintayin na lang po natin kasi hindi po namin pwede sabihin ngayon kung ano yung laman ng kanyang testimonya next week.
Pero doon,
Basta siya po yung in charge po sa LSB, yung isang tanggapan po dito sa Congress. So, hintayin na lang nga po natin ang kanyang testimony.
Kasi ang naaalala kasi namin, kasi tagal na rin kaming nag-cover dito, nung time na yon ang daming bodyguard ni Sara dito, more than hundreds, and then nagugulo. So nagpa siya si Chairman Chua na ilipat na lang para mawala si Duterte dito. Si Zulaika. Aalis ang grupo ni Sara dito.
Tulad doon ng sinabi ni Kong Bell, no, let's just wait for it when we present her as witness. Ang pwede ho lang naming sabihin at this point kung ano na ho yung linatag namin sa aming pre-trial brief with respect to this witness, which is she will testify about the circumstances surrounding the utterance. So ano ho yung nangyari, no, nung hong time, nung November 23, na ginawa ho itong pananakot sa buhay ng presidente.
No further objection, Your Honors.
Okay, thank you, Bernard. Rosalie?
Good morning po, Rosalie Cos po of UNTV. How do you respond po dun po sa mga critics, observers na nagsasabi na yung first witness na sinalang po ng prosecution ay walang pasabog or wow factor?
Well, we don't know where that's coming from, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Ang sa amin naman, no, ang importante, maliwanag na ipakita dito, no, yung video footage kung saan ho binigkas yung pananakot sa buhay ng presidente, sa First Lady, and the then Speaker of the House, at ang pag-amin na meron ng agreement, no, with this assassin, no, to carry this out. At ang I think even, no, beyond the direct examination, no, mahalaga din ho na balikan natin dito nung tinanong ho yung witness, ang naging sagot ho niya dun sa tanong kung ano ho yung characterization niya dun sa threat ho na yun. Ang sinabi ho niya na napakalinaw, the threat was absolute, ano. So at and as a last point about that, dun sa cross-examination, no, mukhang may mga katanungan sila na mukhang ang aim ay questionin kung authentic ba yung document, ano. Pero alalahanin din natin sa same cross-examination na yan, ginamit nila yung very same video footage, no, kung saan meron silang mga pinalabas na some portions of it, which means, no, malinaw, wala hong question dun sa authenticity ng video na to.
Saka may wow factor naman, di ba? Sabi nga ni Attorney Ligutan, wow. So ibig sabihin pati siya napapawaw. Pero aside from that, joking lang naman kayo naman. Kita naman natin na maayos sumagot yung witness. Napakaklaro to the point na iba na nga, parang nag-iba na nga yung strategy ng defense nung they were crossing him. Parang very parang iba yung atake nila towards him. Parang kasi medyo character na po yung tinitignan eh. So hindi na po yung impormasyon na binibigay niya. So siguro ano lang siya, like medyo parang tahimik lang yung pagkatao niya. Parang ako, shy, di ba?
Ang mahalaga pong intindihin in relation to John Mark Calilong is that he was presented to authenticate the video recording which he made. Bakit po? Dahil ipepresenta po natin itong video na ito at bago magpresenta ng video ang isang abogado, ang isang partido, kailangan po natin mai-authenticate yan o maipalabas na tama ang pag-record ng video, na ito ay yung chain of custody nito ay tama at sumunod sa tamang proseso, malinis ang pagkagawa ng lahat ng steps. And naipakita naman po ni Calilong iyon. Ang masasabi ko po about Calilong is that he was consistent in his statements. He was credible and he was competent. Pinakitaan po siya ng some documents which weren't presented before, presented uh, which weren't identified or authenticated. But anyway, he was able to answer all of those. And they were testing his credibility. At naipakita naman po hanggang sa dulo nung tinatanong din po si Kalilong ng ating senator judges na competent nga siya, alam niya ang kanyang sinasabi at meron siyang qualifications para sagutin ang mga tanong na binabato sa kanya at meron siyang qualifications para gawin yung pag-authenticate ng video, paggawa ng affidavit of authentication na ginawa po niya. So, we are very happy with the testimony of John Mark Kalilong.
Alright po. Yesterday po sa day 3 ng impeachment trial, si Senator Judge Bam Aquino po questioned or asked the prosecution kung meron po silang ipepresent na other witnesses that will pertain to the alleged hitman. And then Attorney Ligutan said yes. Are we expecting that to be present? Are we expecting that witnesses to be presented next week?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? I didn't
Okay po.
quite got
Si
it.
Senator Judge Bam Aquino po, tinanong niya po si Attorney Ligutan kung may ipepresent po ba ang prosecution na other witnesses that will pertain to the alleged hitman. And Attorney Ligutan said yes. Are we expecting po na maipresent yung witnesses na yon next week?
Without going to the details of what will be the testimony of the subsequent witnesses, but it's been stated in our pre-trial brief that we'll be presenting witnesses who will talk about the investigation conducted by the NBI in relation to the threats issued by the Vice President against the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker of the House.
I asked the question po kasi because during the hearing of the House Justice Committee in April, NBI said na may lead na sila dun sa alleged hitman. So may development na po nito?
Yes, so again, let's wait for the testimony of Director Matibag and the other regional director of the NBI.
Yun po ba ang significance ng pagharap po ni Attorney Jeremy Lotok sa Monday?
Again, they will be testifying about the investigation conducted by the NBA in relation to this. But I hope you understand. I understand the frustration, but because of the sub judice rule, we cannot talk about matters which were not yet discussed in the impeachment proceedings. That's why, we're begging for your patience at this time. So pag nailatag na ho yan, naupo na yung mga witnesses namin, pwede ho natin pag-usapan ulit.
Last na lang. So may pasabog next week.
Meron ho kaming matibay na ebidensya na ilalabas sa susunod na linggo.
Can you elaborate?
Meron.
Ay, clean naman. Pwede po bang mas mahaba?
Hindi, yun yung tanong mo eh. May pasabog ba next week?
Anong
Meron.
klaseng pasabog po?
5-star.
Hindi bloody yun, sir. Okay.
Okay,
Question.
Marian.
Sir, regarding po doon sa request ng prosecution panel to subpoena yung tax records po ni VP Sara and yung asawa niya si Attorney Mans Carpio, itinakda po yung oral arguments ng impeachment court on July 15. Kamusta po yung preparations natin? Sino po yung tatayo para po doon sa 10 minutes and your rebuttal?
Oh, we're still discussing that. Pinag-aaralan pa po ng team in charge and nung buong prosecution team.
Yeah, but we're very much ready to argue our position in support of that request because this is a matter that we've long anticipated. Na alam naman namin issue to that will arise because consistent with the stance that they've been taking from the start, we knew that they'll try to block every evidence that we'll try to present. So we've anticipated this and we're ready with our legal arguments.
But aside from that, sir, may iba ba tayong ginagawa or pinag-uusapan na pwedeng gawin on the table? Like, for example, seeking President Bongbong Marcos authorization po para buksan nga po itong box.
Again, I'm not sure if it was mentioned a while ago, but these are matters that are not being discussed or prioritized, by the prosecution team at this time. But what we can say is it was pointed out in the impeachment proceedings, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was even mentioned as part of the ruling that this is an option, one of the options that is under the National Internal Revenue Code. No, but the BIR commissioner, may request the president to give his consent because, as aptly pointed out, that is what happened in the impeachment proceedings concerning the late CJ Corona. But again, we would not want to preempt whatever actions the BR Commissioner may take on it. No? Ang pinag-uusapan pa lang ho dito is our request for the impeachment court to issue a subpoena to the BIR directing it to produce these documents to the court. Now, wag natin hong pangunahan, no, kung ano yung magiging proseso pagkatapos na.
Thank you, sir. DS Pao, you mentioned kanina nagbigay po kayo ng grado, no? Doon sa prosecutors
A
natin.
positive.
Yes, A positive.
A plus. A plus.
A plus para po, bloody pa rin. Kung matatanong po kayo, ano naman po yung maaari nyo ibigay na grado para po sa defense? Lalo na po, no? Doon sa 3 araw po, nakita nyo parang nagkasukatan na yung defense and prosecution. Nakita nyo ba na tunay nilang inosente si VP Sara dito sa pagbibigay ng grave threats?
Siguro masyado pang maaga. Pero baka be positive na lang. Para be as in blood. Pero be positive pa din. Kasi productive naman yung weeks. Yung 3 araw pareho ng prosecutors saka defense. Saka it's a little too early in the game. So, be positive.
B meaning?
Blood.
Blood. Thank you, sir.
All right, Marian. Let's hear from Eden.
Kahapon po ay inamin ng witness na on his personal opinion, it's absolute yung pong, I don't know, po, yung threat. Pero based on the affidavit, it's conditional. Ano po yung pwedeng maging epekto nito dun sa case?
Alam nyo ho, siguro hindi nagmamatter kung conditional or absolute. In any case, wala naman po sa criminal law na conditional threat na tinatawag. Basta threat, basta nagawa po ang isang threat, yun na po yun. Threat na po yun. So, kung nagtataka ang mga iba, ano ba tong conditional threat? Kasi may condition daw na gagawin ito kapag nangyari mo ng isang bagay. Nasabi na din po yung threat, di ba? So, there is no such thing as a conditional threat.
Si attorney.
Again, in the end, ang pinaka maliwanag ho siguro dito nung tinanong siyang diretsuhan kung ano ho ang personal na paniniwala niya dyan, sinabi niya the threat is absolute. So, I think yan ho yung pinaka-relevant na naging sagot tungkol sa bagay ho na yan.
So wala pong epekto doon sa case yung conditional threat na nakabatay po sa kanilang affidavit?
Well, consistent ho yung position namin dyan kahit dun sa articles of impeachment, no, that does not diminish the gravity, no, of the acts done, no. It does not make it in any way right, no. Hindi ho yan pinapababa kung gaano kamali. No, again, let's put it in context. Tulad ho nung na-mention ni Kong Pao kanina, no. Tandaan ho natin yung na-emphasize, no, during the opening statement of Kong Jinky. Wala pa ho sa buong kasaysayan ng Pilipinas, no, na merong isang vice-presidente na inamin na meron siyang kaugnayan sa isang mamatay tao at nagkaroon siya ng kasunduan sa mamatay tao na to, napatay ng presidente, kanyang asawa at ang Speaker of the House. So, kahit ho anong sabihin natin na conditional yan, hindi ho papababa, no, kung gaano kamali ito.
Ang sabi po ay forewarned yon to protect then the Vice President against po dun sa sinasabing threat din sa buhay niya dun sa binabanggit na Romanov, Oplan Romanov, dahil yung pamilya din po niya ay may banta bago pa niya sabihin yung banta naman na yon. At ang sabi po ng NBI witness yesterday ay they try to investigate. So hindi talaga nila pinagtuunan ng pansin yung imbestigahan yung reklamo naman po ng VP Sara. Okay, your take on that?
Let's be accurate. Hindi ho yung sinabi ng witness na hindi nila yun pinagtuunan ng
tried.
pansin, ano? Again, let's be accurate. Ang sinagot niya, inanyayahan ho nila ang Vice Presidente na pumunta sa kanila para makausap nila siya tungkol sa bagay na to, para ho maimbestigan nila ng mabuti. Ang naging problema ho, hindi ho tumugon doon sa paanyaya na puntahan sila. Para maliwanag lang ho kung ano ho yung sinabi ng witness. At the end of the day, no, ang tanong ho dyan, justification ho ba yun? Kung merong ganong naririnig na kung ano mang gustong itawag dyan, no? Na again, wala ho tayong nakikita kahit na anong ebidensya, no? Even kahit sa paglilitis na to na mayroon totoong nangyari ganyan. Justification po ba yun para sa isang public official na manakot ng buhay ng kahit sinong tao, lalo na yung buhay ng presidente, napapalitan niya siya mismo kapag nga nangyari ito at pinatay siya.
Okay. Doon po sa subjudicial kanina nabanggit ninyo, ito po, yung po mga ginagawang press conference, hindi lang po ng Proseca, even the defense and other, hindi po ba yun paglabag sa subjudice rule?
Okay. Ang subjudice rule, nakalagay dyan sa rules, no? Members of the prosecution team and their parties and their counsel are not allowed to give comments or disclosures pertaining to matters that go into the merits of the case. Pero meron hong maliwanag na exemption yan under the jurisprudence, which is the true and fair reporting doctrine. No? Ibig sabihin ho nito, pwedeng malaya ho noon ay paliwanag sa publiko kung ano ang mga bagay-bagay na nangyari throughout the impeachment proceedings. Kasama ho yan kung ano ho ang mga linalaman ng mga submissions ng bawat parties, mga sinabi ng mga witnesses. Kaya kung alalahanin nyo, ang mga sagot namin, lagi ho kaming bumabalik sa kung anong mga sinabi ng mga testigo, kung ano hong sinabi ng magkabilang partido sa kanilang mga opening statements, anong naging tugon nila sa mga sagot, sa mga pagtatanong ng other party, presiding officer, or senators. So, yan ho ay pinapayagan ho yan ng rules.
CDS Ortega po. Baka meron kayong ano.
Very technical kasi yung tanong mo. Alam mo namang semi-technical lang ako. Hindi, pero dagdagan ko na lang siguro, Ate Dian, no? Yung kahit sino pong masalubong natin, maglakad tayo 1 kilometro. Punta tayo palengke, punta tayo sa eskwelahan, sa playground, sa opisina. Pag tinanong mo yung tao, bata, matanda, may ngipin o wala, sino nag-threaten sa buhay ng Pangulo? Iisa naman lahat ang sagot nila eh. Hindi nila sasabihin na ang nag-conditional threat sa Pangulo ay si ganito. So, sino nagbanta sa buhay ng Pangulo? Medyo napakasimple nga po eh. So, yun lang po. Thank you.
All right.
Hello po, good morning. I'm Lance po from Newswatch Plus. To the prosecutors po muna, no, since we're presenting or we're expecting na si Attorney Zuleika Lopez, who is a close ally of the Vice President, will be presented. Yes, close staff of the Vice President will be presented next week. Do we expect a more persistent objection, heated discussions? Kasi this week po talagang naging mainit na, especially for the public na hindi naman talaga nakakapanood ng isang court hearing. So, do we expect a heated discussion next week? More heated discussion next week? And without revealing the strategy, how is the prosecution preparing for that?
Of course, we're expecting more objections next week. And, well, we want you to know that our prosecutors, our even our private prosecutors are all very capable to handle the direct examination of Attorney Lopez should that take place next week. So, mangyayari po talaga na mag-o-object yung kabila dahil syempre ayaw nilang tumuloy ang testimonya ng kahit sinong witness po ng prosecution.
Congrats, you may have your take on that.
I just personally believe that it would not depend on the character of the witness, whether it would have been a hostile witness or not. We have top-notch lawyers on the prosecution. We also have top-notch lawyers on the defense, and we can expect the same intensity of objections all throughout.
Just one more question naman po to DS Ortega. Have you spoken to the at least leadership, to Speaker Bogie D, to Majority Leader Sandro Marcos about what happened this week? Ano po yung kanyang assessment sa prosecution team?
Hindi pa hindi pa kami nag-uusap. I think they're on their way back from may mga personal silang mga lakad. Pero syempre, I'm sure they're watching and observing kung ano po yung mga nangyayari at alam ko naman po nakasuporta naman po sila. Syempre, mga kasama po nilang congressmen and women yung nandito. Hindi ko pa po sila nakakausap nitong mga nakaraang ilang 2 linggo. Hindi pa kami nagkikita. Pero pwede ko silang kamustahin mamaya. Siguro mag-chat ako or something. But with regards to your first question, syempre parang with the social media age, nakikita po natin yung parang it's being lived out yung courtroom drama. So, kung medyo may intensity nga yung first few days, again, expect a more passionate na courtroom drama. Parang normal yun eh. Kumbaga, nami-mention nga nung mga from the defense and the prosecutors na lahat po na nangyayari ngayon is normal po na nangyayari sa mga hearings. Pero, syempre, may political exercise to eh. So, kaya after the hearings, talagang pulutan. Saka maingay po yung Facebook-verse, Twitter-verse, YouTube-verse, yung mainstream na news natin. That adds spice to the impeachment proceedings, which is alam ko yun yung inaabangan ng taong bayan. So stay tuned.
Sorry, last na po pala. Regarding the naman po, yung sa private prosecutors, kasi I remember Kong Laila said before, 2 weeks ago, I think na pwede pang madagdagan yung mga private prosecutors. At this point of the trial po ba, may mga madadagdag pa sa private prosecution panel?
I've not received any update about that. But tulad ho ng like any other case, pwede naman hong pumasok ang new counsel anytime no during the proceedings. Hindi naman kailangan at the start nandiyan na ho yan, even in the middle. Allowed naman ho yan. But so let's see.
Thank you po.
Right, Vivian?
Good morning po. May we get an update dito sa move or plan to invite or get the Vice President summoned to the trial?
It's under consideration, no? And once we file the appropriate motion for that, then we can discuss it with you at length.
Kasi ang sabi po ng abogado po niya, merong mga fundamental rights under the Constitution. Paano po ba yun? Pwede po ba siyang i-represent ng counsel din? Pagka pinatawag siya as witness? Ganun? Or
Meaning
different rules po ba yun?
What do you mean represent by counsel?
Kasi di po ba for the impeachment trial as a defendant, pwede siyang i-represent ng counsel, pero pag pinatawag po siya as witness, iba po ba yung rules for that?
Represent meaning appear in court?
Yes, appear in...
Kung sasabihin na ho siya, kailangan personal ho yun. Hindi naman ho pwedeng yung counsel niya yung umupo sa witness stand. Ho. But again, let's see. This is something that's siguro I think ang mga question dyan if it can be done, ano? Let's remember this is not a criminal case. So yung hong right against self-incrimination na applicable sa criminal case kung saan hindi mo pwedeng patawag ang accused, no? Strictly speaking, that's not here. Hindi siya accused dito, she's a respondent, no? O wala din hong nakalagay sa saligang batas o sa rules of impeachment na bawal yan, no? But let's see. Once it has been filed, how the impeachment court will handle that matter.
May timeline po ba kayo? For example, next week, the week after next?
When it becomes more concrete to let you know.
And then yung sa, ano po, sinabi na option, yung pag seeking President Marcos Jr.'s authorization to unveil the tax documents of the Vice President and her spouse. When can the prosecution exercise this option?
I think the better question is when will the BIR commissioner do that? And I mean, as I've stated a while ago, hindi namin pangungunahan, no, kung ano hong magiging hakbang na gagawin ng BIR commissioner dyan. What we're just saying is, tama, ano, dun sa question na yun, yan ho ay as pointed out, no, during dun sa impeachment proceedings na isa yan na options under the NIRC. No? But, so, tignan ho natin, no? But sa ngayon, sa pagkakataong ito, tulad doon ng sinabi namin, ang hinihiling pa lang ho namin dito is for the issuance of subpoena directing the BIR commissioner to produce those documents to the impeachment court.
Okay. And then, sir, you mentioned yung dun sa pag-bring nung voting threshold to the Supreme Court is not a priority, singular focus, but napag-uusapan po ba among the prosecution yung possibility po na yun?
Ang pinag-uusapan namin ay tulad ho ng sinasabi namin from the start. No? Ang focus ho namin dito, sisiguraduhin namin na we'll establish, no, an airtight case backed by overwhelming evidence para kung ano man ho ang maging interpretation sa 2/3 na yan, no, we want to ensure that we'll be able to secure it. Yan ho ang focus namin, yan ang intention namin from the start, and it remains to be the same until now.
So, hindi po na pag-uusapan?
Right now, no, hindi ho yan ang mga sa deliberations na pinaprioritize namin. Like we stated, we're focusing on the next witnesses that will be presenting, the arguments that will happen with respect to the request for subpoena. So yan ho yung priority natin at this time.
Thank you po.
All right. Gab?
Sir, ma'am, reaction lang kasi na ambush interview si Attorney Zulaika sa Senate at ang sabi niya pag maghanda raw sa Typhoon Inday. Yun yung po yung sabi niya, parang ano, wait. Prepare for Typhoon Inday.
Oh, maganda rin sila kasi usually pag bagyo wala sila. Kaya baka maganda rin po sila. Nakahanda naman po kami lahat.
Anyone po from the prosecution panel?
Totoo naman pong may bagyong Inday, so maghanda po tayo para sa bagyo.
Kasi po para pumunta si Attorney Zulaika Lopez sa Senate, and yun po yung sasabihin niya na prepare for Typhoon Inday, baka po lang, sakali lang, pumunta po si VP Sara next week sa Senate Impeachment Court. And I think, yun naman din po yung gusto, I think, ni Attorney Lorna Capunan, even last I think Tuesday yata, sinabi niya yun. Are we prepared na?
Nung na-announce po kasi yung pangalan ng bagyo, yung mga kaibigan po nila, mga BFF nila, nag-post na po lahat na Presidente, maganda na po kayo, parating na yung Typhoon Inday. So last week pa yon, marami nang nag-post din. So siguro, yun lang po yung masasabi ni Attorney Zulaika at the moment. So at least siya, mas sanay na siya. So mag-ready lang tayo. Para sa bagyo ha, Hindi dun sa impeachment kasi nakahanda naman po yung prosecutors. Matagal na nakahanda.
Sir, may similarities ba? Parehong hindi magla-landfall.
Pa-Taiwan no? Parang lumihis. Parang lumilihis yung bagyo. Magandang bagay yun kasi at least, di ba, hindi mahihirapan yung mga lugar po na madalas tamaan ng bagyo. Makakapagtrabaho po yung mga tao, hindi po sila magugulo, hindi po sila may istorbo, hindi magugulo yung mga media, tapos 1 minute lang, di ba? So okay na rin po yun. Okay na din po siguro yun.
If in case lang po na pumunta po si VP Sara and humarap siya involuntarily, sa PROSEC po ba ang magdadirect sa kanya? Private? Public?
Wala pa pong final decision on that.
Baka hindi pa pero feeling ko si Rog di ba? May feeling lang ako, pero hindi naman ako, syempre hindi naman ako. Hindi nga ako official spokesperson. Unofficial spokesperson lang ako. So hindi rin ako makakapag-comment masyado tungkol doon.
How about Attorney Kapunan since she was the first to bring that up last week?
Yeah, again, wala pa pong final decision on who will conduct the direct on the Vice President or the Zuleika, if ever they will appear or be someone.
Sabi niyo po ready na. Thank you.
Hindi kasi
Ready lahat.
ready naman.
Ready ang prosecutors.
Siyempre kung
but,
bagyo, kailangan bagyo rin yung pantapat mo, di ba? Diba?
Ready ang
Bagyong Lorna.
So si Attorney Kapunan nga.
No, honestly, wala pang final decision on who will conduct the presentation of the witness.
Just to add quickly, as we've stated, whether or not she will attend before the impeachment court, or appear before the impeachment court, that's the respondent's prerogative, But well, if she will decide to do so, that has been what the public, has been asking for. Everyone has been waiting for her to personally respond to these serious allegations against her, because as we know, we recognize and respect her right to remain silent, but silence does not answer serious allegations of unexplained wealth consisting of billions of financial transactions, of grave threats, again, against the life of the president, of confidential funds amounting to hundreds of millions of pesos, and bribery in the DepEd. So that's it.
All right. Before we entertain the next question, let us just recognize the presence of Congressman Jay Kumon. All right, Haji.
Good morning, Kongs. Opo. Yes, Pao, but do you take the statement literally or figuratively, yung prepare for Typhoon Inday? At saka, to follow up, ang House po ba may preps na for Bagyong Inday? Literally.
Meron naman kahit anong agency ng government, may skeletal force yan during the typhoons. Nakahanda po yan. Sigurado rin po kami na nandito kami o nasa distrito or depende po sa kung saan kami naka-duty ng mga araw na yon, naka-ready rin po yung para sa bagyo. But ang tanong mo ba yung sa hearing?
Kung ano po, literally or figuratively?
Pareha, syempre kailangan handa pareha. Syempre, alam naman natin yung mga nakaraang taon malalakas po yung hagupit ng mga bagyo. Meron naman po yung mga bagyo na lumilihis at umiiwas. So, sana po kung sakaling magla-landfall, nakahanda naman po. So, kung literally and figuratively, pareha naman po nakahanda. Nakahanda rin si Rog, actually. Ready na siya.
Ano lang po, follow up lang po, sabi nga ni Attorney Jay, in a realm of possibilities. Yung pagpunta po ni Attorney Zuleika ngayon sa Senate, what if, for example lang, may legal remedies po na gagawin? Pwede po ba na, may choice po ba siya na hindi humarap next week? Kunwari lang naman, kumbaga, kung ano yung Of course, we are not privy to the details of the meeting. But kung meron man po sila mga remedies.
Hello. Hi there. Kapag nag-issue ng subpoena in impeachment court, no, that's a compulsory process that any person should comply with. Otherwise, no, the impeachment court would have to exercise its right to enforce that compulsory process.
Thank you po.
Okay, Kenneth.
We have no intention to do that.
Pero pwede po.
That's a matter that falls within the discretion, no, of the impeachment court and the individual senators sitting as judges in this impeachment proceeding. So, but again, what's important is that in the rules on impeachment, no, all senators are required to observe political neutrality. This means that no, they should participate in these proceedings, no, and ultimately render judgment, no, regardless of their political affiliations and preferences. And we have faith, no, on the senator judges that they will comply with this obligation.
Okay po. And for the prosecutors po, is this something na napag-usapan na po yung possibility or yung na pwede mag-file ng motion to inhibit yung some senator judges?
Hindi po namin pinag-uusapan yan. Again, our focus is to present our evidence.
Okay po. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Hindi ako familiar doon sa numbers eh. Siguro na-crunch na ba yung numbers na yun? So if ever man na ganun, sabi ko nga ako talaga tong grave threats na to eh, hindi ko matanggal-tanggal sa utak ko. Talagang hindi ako mapakali dito eh. Kahit na siguro po minsan kahit million na yung expenses, if ever ganun man, eh, wala po tayong karapatan na ipapatay ang Pangulo ng Pilipinas. Parang, ako, personal ko lang yun ganun talaga yung kurot sa dibdib ko eh. Masakit eh. Lalo, Ilocano pa ako. So, talagang, hindi ko alam yung amount eh. Hindi ko alam yung eksaktong amount. So, I think, pwede nilang i-crunch yung numbers. Siguro yung sinasabi mo, ma'am, yung na-mention ni former Speaker APC. Pero parang, hindi ako familiar kung dinispute or sinagot to ni current, oo. So, hindi ako sure doon. Pero, medyo, ewan ko, iba yung tama, iba landing sa akin itong gusto mong ipapatay yung Pangulo. Medyo unacceptable talaga.
Okay, thank you.
Can
Hindi
we
naman po
respond to
yata
that quickly?
daily yun.
Yeah. Kung malala po natin, merong isang principal ba yun na nagnakaw ng 5,000 pesos? Mas mahal naman po yung sahod ng mga piskal doon, no ba? At pinaparagot pa rin siya.
Hello. Sorry po.
I just wanted to clarify. Parang hindi naman po sinabing daily yung amount na yon. I think it's the amount for the entire trial. Ang nabasa ko po ay for the entire trial po yata yung reserve na amount na yon. Well, first we want to verify the figures.
Yeah.
Dahil it doesn't make sense for any office to spend 25 million on one day. Eh, ang gastos naman dun the lights, the sweldo.
Daily yata na expenses yun. Hindi impeachment expenses. Daily yun na operation OPEX ng Senate. Not because of the impeachment. Ayun. Okay, sige.
27 million available for possible impeachment trial na buo.
Oo, ayun. Klaro. For the entire pala yun. How much? 27 million for the entire impeachment, not daily expenses. Pero masakit pa rin.
Sususugan ko lang ho yung sinabi ni Kong Rog. No? Tama ho yan. Kung hubang pinagnakawan tayo ng kapitbahay natin, no, ng isang bagay, for example, cellphone mo, worth 10,000 pesos, worth 20,000 pesos, lalo na ginagamit mo sa kabuhayan mo. Tama bang maging dahilan na wag na nating ituloy, no, yung kaso para panagutin yung nagnakaw sa'yo dahil lang babaw lang naman ang amount, no, dahil mas malaki pa ang gagastusin ng gobyerno sa paglilitis na to? Siyempre hindi ho. Bakit? Dapat ho may pananagutan ang mga gumawa ng hindi ho tama. Let's remember, impeachment is a constitutional process. This is an important accountability mechanism under the Constitution to hold our highest public officials accountable. So, dapat yan ho ang focus natin dyan. Ano?
Tuloy naman po yung investigasyon. Hindi naman po huminto. So, it's up to the investigating bodies. They're doing their work and kung saan ang ebidensya, sundan. Yung sa Kongreso po noon, naalala nyo, ikaw naman nandito ka, alam mo yun. Siyempre, may mga agam-agam po, may manifestations na we cannot investigate ourselves. So, we as the leadership deemed it, we left it to the investigating bodies. Kasi nga po, may mga kasama rin po kami na nasasama. Although wala naman pong direkta pa sa ongoing pa po yung investigation. So, habang gumugulong po yung investigasyon, hintayin po natin yung resulta. Hindi naman po pwedeng sinabi ni ganito, sinabi ni ganyan. Hindi naman po pwedeng Facebook talk lang, chismis. So, focus tayo doon para at least meron tayong sinusundan na maayos.
Alright, I have one more question.
Sorry, habol na lang po kasi bago po ito. Na-interview po si Davao City Mayor Baste Duterte sa The Hague, Netherlands, and he has some remarks on the impeachment trial. So reaction siguro from the prosecutors and perhaps to DS Ortega. I quote him, "Ginawa nilang impeachment yung entire campaign for 3 years kasi gusto nila na sila pa rin. They are preventing the Vice President, Inday Sara Duterte, to run for the 2028 elections. Yan ang main reason ng impeachment na yan." Any reaction po?
Kapatid niya yun eh. Ganun talaga magiging reaction niya. Kung may pagkasalaman yung kapatid niya o wala, siyempre pagtatanggol niya pa rin yun.
How about the prosecs po? May gusto po bang mag-react din sa statement ni Mayor Baste?
A quick one. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. No? But at the end of the day, ang importante ho dito, pakinggan ho natin pare-pareho at suriin ho natin ng maayos, ng masinsinan ng ebidensya na ilalatag ng magkabilang panig. At sa pagtapos ho ng paglilitis nito, dun ho natin makikita yan, pare-pareho, kung meron ho ba talagang matibay na basehan itong kaso na to, no? Whether politically motivated or not, ang sasagot lang ho dyan yung ebidensya.
Alright. On that note, we thank our friends from the media for this opportunity and also our panelists here, DS Pao, Kong Bell Zamora, Kong Rog, and Attorney J. Tolosa Jr. Thank you very much. Good morning.